The dynamics between a landlord and a tenant is very complicated, and it is much more than just paying your rent. It's essentially a relationship. It's a business relationship, it's a friendship, it's a full-blown partnership. And the most important thing on our relationships is for it to be based on trust and on good character. So I want to talk with you the 7 steps that we take, that we go through to vet our potential partners. Step 1 is a pre-qualification form. This form is extremely important. It is essentially how we first meet. The form is very basic. We ask a few simple questions: first name, last name, and contact. And then we dive a little bit deeper. The purpose of the form is to figure out if you meet the minimum basic requirements to even be evaluated. And that requirement is that we require at the bare minimum that you make 3 times the rent monthly in gross income. Do you understand? And the second criteria is that we're looking for someone that has a minimum credit score of 600. But that depends. It has a contingency. And that contingency is highly dependent on how healthy your credit check report comes back. There's one more thing about the pre-qualification form, is that we have a very specific question that we ask. And that question is like this: have you ever had a lease violation that resulted in any causes of action? And then finally, the pre-qualification form has a perjury clause because it is a legal document. Essentially what we're looking for, number 1, that you are not lying, because all that information is going to be verified. With the perjury clause there, it's a security blanket for us to make sure that you say and you are who you say and who you are. However, I have to make a disclaimer. It does not matter if you are a Section 8 person. We do take you. We cannot discriminate against you. So whether you're Section 8 or not, apply and let's see what the cards say. Once we find out that you actually pre-qualify, then we reach out to you with our second procedure, and that is the rental application. In the rental application is very standard. We ask very normal, standard, industry standard questions such as first name, last name, social, job, references. This is something that is not new. After you file the rental application, then you have the option, if you would like, to actually see the property in person. We do have video tour of the property, but not everybody likes the video tour. Most people want to see it in person. But if that's what you want, then step 2 is when you actually get to see the property after you filled up your rental application. Keyword, after you filled up your rental application. So you love the property, you've seen it, you love it, you want to move in. Well, here we go to step 3. This is where we ask for your permission to run your credit and background check. This is also where we're going to ask you to provide us with your last 2 bank statements, specifically the one showing your rental payments. If you're among many people who don't pay their rent through their banks and instead pay them through Cash Apps or PayPal or online money apps, you get the drill. Then what we're going to ask you is, in addition to your last 2 bank statements, you're going to provide us with proof of your rental payments through those apps. So you might ask yourself, why you want my bank statements? Well, it's very easy. Because we want to know that you are responsible. We want to know and we want to get a good idea of how you manage your finances. Because rent, it is the most expensive finance in someone's budget. The most expensive expense in someone's budget. And we are curious and we want to know that you can afford this rent. So you've given us everything that we asked you for. So what is next? Step 4 is simply the verification process. This is where we cross-reference all the information you've given us. We call your landlords, we call maybe your job, we cross-reference your credit score, your credit history with your bank statements. We look at your rental payments. We go over your pre-qualification form and double-check and make sure there was no perjury. We really put the entire team to task This is where we also go through the court system, go through the court records, check out your background check. It's a very thorough verification. All right, so you've been verified and we like what we see. And so now what is next? So the next step, which is step 5, is the lease review. This is where we actually extend the lease with you. We extend the offer of tenancy to you. Keyword, the offer. This is where we sit down together, either through video chat, through phone, and we go over the items of the lease. We go over what we're looking for in the lease. We go over the addendums. We go over it all. And hopefully by then, you'll agree. All right, so now we both agree on the terms of the lease. And then we can move on to step 6. It's a very easy step. Security deposit. This is where we await for your monetary deposits of not only the security deposit, but any funds that we're both agreed upon. Simple, right? But wait, quick disclaimer, we do not take cash. As soon as we get the necessary monetary funds, there's only one last step left. And that's the keys to your house. Welcome home.